Unfortunate moment. 3 o'clock, good to have you. And now we got to talk some Brad Holmes, some Lions. We're setting the table for the offseason. If you missed our conversation about the NBA All-Star Game, it's simple. Throw it in the garbage. It's a rotary phone. Get rid of it. Rico, you're selling golden tickets. I'm going to put it politely. I'm not going to say what you said in pre-show. So why don't you, please, delight the masses?
Mike, it got to the point where coming up with a topic for today and looking at the Lions and what they should do with potential free agents. We kind of touched upon it earlier in the show. You know, do you go after defensive end? Do you go after a corner? What do you do? Do you resign your own guys? But then it keeps boiling back to the same thing for me. Have we reached a point where Brad Holmes can just do no wrong? That for Lions fans, there is complete trust, 100% in everything that this man does, because he's has a track record out there. When you look at his last 3 drafts and bringing in not just starters, but Pro Bowlers, guys that are really getting it done. Then you look at the free agent signings that he had, even if you go back to Jamal Williams, and then you get rid of him and say, okay, well, he wears silly little hats. We're going to bring in David Montgomery. That seems to work out. You know, C.J. Gardner-Johnson was somebody that we really thought was going to help out this team. By the end, not so much. But, you know, Cam Sutton, I think would have worked, not as a number one. Emmanuel Mosley got injured. You look at everything that this man has done, and I do feel like, does Brad Holmes just have 100% complete trust? No, I'm going to believe this guy no matter who he wants. It's who he wants. And I'm going to say, yes, Brad knows everything, because it seems like he's got that whatever he touches turns to gold type of thing, where he took a team that he believed in Jared Goff before any of you believed in Jared Goff. He got here and said, no, I'm resigning. I'm extending Goff for another year. What? He's a Band-Aid. No, trust me. He's better than that. Does Brad Holmes just have the golden ticket to Lions fans that no matter what he does, you're going to stand back, you're not going to say anything, and as Jansen would say, you're just going to let it play out? 248-539-9797.
No. There's my answer.
I'm glad I set that up.
No, I'm busting your chops. First of all, okay, I'm only speaking for myself. I don't do the whole complete benefit of the doubt with any executive in any sport in any planet. Otherwise, why even like sports? Like, when you just give up the right to an opinion, then you're just a lemming. You're just a moron. I'm not doing it.
No, I understand. But Kenny, I'll ask you as the Lions fan, is there blind faith because this man took a team out of despair and had them 30 minutes away from going to the Super Bowl, where now you're the it flavor of the NFL, not just Detroit, but everybody likes the Lions now. Everybody wants to comment on the Lions and the grit and all of that. And Holmes is the architect. I think for a lot of Lions fans, he's got blind faith that whoever he goes after, great. We needed this guy. Whoever he doesn't want, get rid of him. He was a bum.
In the draft, yes, I do have blind faith in Holmes, but in regards to free agency, I mean, I just haven't seen an offseason where I'm like, that's the move. That's the move, and we're here.
Right.
And I think we need at least one of those this free agency.
And again, Kenny, I'm glad you pointed it out, because Rico, you didn't set it up where it's like, do you have complete faith in the draft? Now, the draft, he has earned a profile that he knows how to identify, target, and go and procure the players he wants. That's different.
Right.
I'm with Kenny. This team's on the precipice of a Super Bowl. So here's my one thing I would need.
I mean, he went out there and said, you know what? I think this Alex Anzalone's going to be pretty good. Going to re-sign him. Going to bring him back. He's going to be the leader. May not be the most athletic guy. He's the leader of this team.
The one thing I would need is that he has to show me either a A-list corner or an A-list edge in free agency. I don't want to hear about the draft. You're not winning a Super Bowl by drafting someone 28th overall or 30th overall, and that guy's going to waltz in the league and have 17 sacks. Like, just stop. So what you need is a grown-ass man.
Right.
Now, David had the football today earlier. All right, Kendall Fuller, some people look at that and be like, well, who's that? Kendall Fuller's a really good corner in a really bad situation in Washington. He's a pro. I think he's in his 8th year. He's 28 or 29. He's really good, and he's a lead corner. You put him here, Sutton to the 2. They're both perimeter guys. You do that, All right, he can do whatever else he wants.
I don't see him being super aggressive when it comes to free agents. I see him kind of doing what he's done the last couple of years. I'm going to find the guy who's either coming off injury or I'm going to give you that 1-2 year prove-it deal. You're a little shaky on this team, but I think you can come to the Lions and rehabilitate yourself. I don't see the big splash free agent, just like he didn't do the big splash trade.
Then you can blow it out your ass.
I believe
That's
in
where I sit.
I believe in my draft picks, and that's going to be the core of my team.
I'm with Kenny on this. It's time. It's time for this team to go and win a Super Bowl. And what that requires is not safe. It's not pragmatic. It's not worrying about 2027's cap figures. It's about winning. Rico, I could make a case if they had one more legitimate defensive player, they beat San Francisco. They were begging. They were looking around the field for somebody to make a play. They didn't have anyone capable.
No, they didn't.
I need an A-list edge rusher or an A-list corner. Pick one. I won't even put Brad Holmes to a standard of, well, this is what I want. Like, yes, of course I want the edge. I'm with you. You you win with the tip of the sword. But if they decide, hey, corner's more doable, I can acquire one easier. If they do that, and you're asking me, do I give him full benefit of the doubt the rest of the offseason? Yes. But I need that. That's the entry fee to the bar. That's the cover.
Because I don't see Brad Holmes doing that, but I think Lions fans are going to be okay with whatever he does.
You know what it gets to? And I don't want to compare them in this and that. Brad Holmes this year made the playoffs. They won some games. But it's like reading about Scott Harris. It's like in this town, if you hold these guys, or Iserman, like if you hold these guys to a standard, you're vilified. Oh my God, Kenny and I were saying Steve Iserman really needs to go make a big move to move this thing forward this summer. And Kenny and I were just complete derelict scumbags, right? Oh my God, you want more from Brad Holmes? Oh, I've got receipt. Good. Here's a few more for your next press conference in a year. And it's the Scott Harris thing. How the hell are the Tigers going into this season with Zach McKinstry at third base? Wait, hey, Chris, wake up. You're $45 million from having a league average payroll. Why can't we go sign Matt Chapman? Why can't we sign a Cody Bellinger? So I'm just making a point to you. If you want to tell me, hey, the Tigers aren't ready, I'll have an argument with you, but I'll live with it. You want to tell me the Wings aren't ready?
Lions ready.
You are in it.
They're ready.
You're in the Super Bowl blender. It's time. So I can't see an offseason where they don't make that A-list move and we walk away going, yeah, they got a lot better.
But see, based off his receipts press conference, that told me, guys, I'm smart. I know what I'm doing. Trust me on this. I'm going to get us right back there with the pieces I'm going to bring in. I didn't feel confident saying he's going to go out there and try his best to bring in a Chris Jones, somebody, a Daniil Hunt, somebody big, a name that you could put next to Aiden, a splash player. I don't think you're getting that. I think you're going to get another one or two where maybe you take a swing at a Chase Young or somebody. We'll give you a 1-year deal because I believe in my young guys, and I'm going to let my young guys take us back to the
He
Super
can
Bowl.
do whatever he wants in the draft because it's very hard for me to ever get upset about it.
No.
If at 29 they sit there and take a guard, you think I'm going to be mad? No.
No, but it's not the draft. As you said, you can't just win with draft picks. You have to bring in some impact players, especially when you're in your window right here, right now.
Need to see it.
You got to swing and miss because you're not going to hit on everybody, as you found out last year. But the fact that you let go of the heart and soul of the team and Jamal, and you brought in David Montgomery, who was actually better than him.
Yeah, it's in a different way because the Wings need to make the playoffs, but he has to make an Iserman type DeBrincat move. That's what he has to make, Brad Holmes, this year. They are there. So make that move that puts you over the top to be the number 1 seed or to be that Super Bowl representative of the NFC.
And as I state, 248-539-9797. If that move doesn't happen, as a Lion fan, are you just okay? Blind faith. We trust in Brad. Brad knows what he's doing.
I think Lion fans are still in the fetal position. If you want us to break down the Daytona 500, I guess you can call up a different show. Guys, it's simple. Let's get the offseason right. Like, I don't think it's wrong to put pressure on team executives because last time I checked, I'm still waiting for a parade. Yeah, they need an A-list move. I think, Rico, you're in line with me on this, and I know Kenny is. If you think whoever you're picking at 29 is going to be a savior and fix this defense, go order some more drugs.
Yeah.
You need free agency to finish that job. It's time. Yes, Kenny.
We all remember what it looked like when we were awful. The window is now, and the windows don't last forever, especially not in the NFL. Especially not in the NFL.
Well, think about this, because you're in the you could have the Vikings with a new QB, the Bears with a brand new QB. So, Jordan Love is young. This is your division again to win, which means that you're going to get a first round bye again, or you're going to be playing at least at home in the first round, competing with Dallas and San Francisco for that number one seed. You got to go get some players that can help you get over that hump, because you're not battling Minnesota and Chicago and Green Bay anymore. No. You're now battling San Francisco, Dallas, and teams like in the Philadelphia
Kansas
Eagles.
City, Buffalo.
Yes.
All these big dogs. I just don't see a pathway where you are conservative and make it. And that doesn't mean you got to go Wild West like the Niners, but they've been bold. The Chiefs have been bold. These teams, Baltimore, bold. Like, it's time. And I need an edge or a corner. He can do whatever he wants outside of that. I'll largely go along with the draft. No problems. How could you be upset with pick 29? I mean, if he took a kicker, I guess I'd be pissed. But you get my point.
Actually, I wouldn't.
Oh, stop it. 248-539-9797. I'd say we'd get to your phone calls. You people are in hibernation. David's going to sing the Steelers fight song next or break down the Daytona 500. I'm out of here. I'm going back on vacation. Rico, tell them all about it.